Буквально одну секунду мы...
We were together, what, 7 years ago, and now he's a teenager. So he had much more of an opinion and a direction that he wanted to go. He had a very specific perspective on his character and how he wanted to perform. So for me as a father, it was just really a great bonding opportunity. Our characters have very similar issues to deal with in the film that Jaden and I have to deal with in real life. My character being a general, and he's a great general, and his son is trying to be like him, coming up in his shadow. And you know, Jaden has some of the similar. He and I have some of the similar issues that our characters are dealing with.
Okay, thank you so much. And what about you, Jaden?
No, I definitely feel like we have some of the similar things that we go on in both of our lives, but I definitely feel as though the father-son aspect in the movie really helps our performance, and it really helps when you're watching the movie, because it almost brings another level of realness to the film.
У меня вопрос к Уиллу Смиту. Самые крутые постапокалиптические фильмы сняты с вашим участием. Почему именно вы, и почему, как вы считаете, постапокалиптические фильмы в последнее время очень популярны?
I love science fiction. There's something that happens with when you can create an entire world. It feels like there are no boundaries, that you get to remake the world in the way that you would change it if you had the opportunity. With science fiction, you get to take things that exist in the world and adjust how people see them. For me, with science fiction, it feels so much easier to be creative. In After Earth, for example, in 1,000 years in the future, the entire new planet, which humankind has found, is called Nova Prime, and the entire new planet is green. So there's no fossil fuels. There's no internal combustion engines, and even in the film, no guns. There's no guns in the future. So you're able to create in science fiction in a way that wouldn't be authentic if you were to make a present day movie.
Вопрос для Джейдена Смита. Вы сыграли в нескольких заметных фильмах. Это блокбастер. Вы сын знаменитых родителей. Как вы боретесь со звездной болезнью, с детской звездной болезнью?
Like the difficulties of your life being famous in blockbusters. Is that hard?
It's hard sometimes, but I think that for the most part, I have a good family around me, so they can always keep me grounded and sane. So, sometimes it does get hard, but you can fight through it, and you realize at the end of the day, it's really just about the art that you're giving to the world. So really, all you have to focus on is just that, and you can get through your life a lot easier.
Yeah, for Jada and I, it's really important that our children recognize that they are artists, not celebrities. And there's a very big difference between an artist and a celebrity. We are a family of artists that create for the purpose of putting good things into the world. We create for the purpose of delivering something of value to people, and we really try to stress with our kids the kiss of death that happens in this business is when you create for yourself. You're creating for your ego gratification. You're creating because you want people to look at you versus creating for delivering inspiration or delivering enthusiasm. And I think as long as people in this business if you could stay focused on the fact that you are a servant. Entertainment is a service to the public, no different than a police officer or a doctor. Like the the blessing to be able to entertain is a service to other people. And I think just the difficulty is when you serve yourself with it, when you're trying to serve your ego, when you're trying to serve your insecurities, that's when it's a slippery slope and life can go downhill. In the same way, with a police officer, if a police officer decided that he was a police officer because he wanted respect, and he wants people to respect him, and he's going out and he has a gun to get respect, like that's the same kind of danger for an artist who tries to create to satiate one's own inadequacies.
Вы постоянно в фильмах спасаете мир, а как вы считаете, может ли красота спасти мир, и что для вас значит красота? Спасибо.
Wow, do I think that beauty may save the world? What is beauty? That's interesting. Yeah, I think that's an interesting concept. The idea of beauty being the thing that saves the world. There's a little theme of that in the movie. It's more about the ability to recognize beauty, the ability to be able to see something that is beautiful and respect it enough not to destroy it. And I think in M. Night's design of the future in After Earth, when you come back to Earth, that was one of the things that he was really concentrating on, to be able to see how beautiful Earth became 1,000 years after humankind left. And for Jaden's character Katai to come back into Earth and be taken by the beauty of Earth. So yeah, I think it's beauty is always there. I think the difficulty for man is to recognize it, to be able to see it and recognize it and respect it and care for it as beauty.
Скажите, пожалуйста, что интересного происходило во время съемок и о чем мы можем узнать только от вас?
Interesting things that happened during the shoot. Well, Jaden almost got attacked by a monkey.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we all did, actually.
Yeah, that was
All
almost,
get
that
attacked by
was,
monkeys.
it was a moment we put Jaden up into a tree. And was that your first shot of the movie?
First shot of the movie.
Yeah, literally his first shot of the movie. And we put him up into the top of a tree. And Jaden starts saying, down, down, down. We're like, no, Jaden, it's okay. He's like, no, down. And so we put him down. He was like, there's monkeys up in the tree and they weren't happy at all. So Costa Rica is a very rich and alive space. And what did we learn? You know what I was really surprised about? We had a huge ecological education during this film. I was very surprised to learn, with us as a film crew going into Costa Rica. So we were trying to be as, eco-friendly as possible going in. And just the things that moving a movie crew into a delicate environment in that way, I didn't realize how much of a footprint, moving 75 or 100 people into a delicate environment in that way, how many things you have to be careful of and how dangerous it is, something as simple as someone bringing food or, an insect in someone's luggage or something like, and how careful you have to be and respectful moving into a space in that way. So it was a huge education for us and our entire crew of how to be eco-friendly.
Thank you.
Would I leave Earth? That would be. I'm older than Jaden. I think I'm going to stay here and go down with the ship. But Jaden, at 14 years old, what do you think? Would you leave?
I mean, I don't know, man, because if you're going to stay here and go down with the ship, then a lot of people are going to stay here and go down with the ship. So
You like better watch what you're saying, right?
I know.
I don't know. It would be. I would have to think about that for sure. My first
encourage.
instinct would be to leave Earth.
Yes.
And then I would see who was staying, and then once I saw who was staying and how the Earth was going to be after most of the people left, then I would think about it and say maybe I will stay, maybe I'll leave. Maybe you'll be able to go.
No, once you
whenever
leave, you're
want.
gone, buddy.
Yeah.
Once you leave, you're gone. Jaden,
Yeah.
I would encourage you firmly, man. Just leave. You have your whole life ahead of you, man. Get on that ship and go find the future, son.
But how? I mean, we were on the ship for like 1,000 years before we found no crime.
I know. No, it was 100. It was only 100 years. But then by that time, you'll be on the ship. They'll be able to bio-freeze your body, so you'll be frozen. You'll be asleep most of the time. And then when you wake up, you'll thaw out, and you'll be like 100, but your body will still be 14.
I don't know if we're gonna have that technology, Dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's just 14, but he's so mature.
Oh, no.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
Do you teach your father? And the question to Will is, do you learn from your son? Thank you.
I do have to teach him how to send text messages and tweets sometimes because he doesn't know how. But
I've never twed. I have never twed. I have never twed. I'm old school. Facebook is the limit. No, I don't friend him on my Facebook. Because you don't want to know what your kids are doing. That's another thing with the internet. As parents, you don't want to be on Instagram and all of that stuff where you see what your kids are doing. Like, that has to be their private space because you don't want to know.
My mom was on Instagram for like 5 days.
Yeah.
She literally stopped and deleted her.
Yeah, you just have to delete the account. Like, yeah, because you just don't want to know what your kids are doing.
Yeah. But no, the stuff that I mostly teach you or that you learn from me, I don't really teach you a lot of stuff. You just learn from me sometimes. It's subliminally that you learn stuff.
Yes.
I don't really teach it to you. You just watch me.
Yeah, that's true. You have a lot of very good personality traits. You're much more calm than I am, and I think that that's what I learned from you more times than not, is that it's just not that serious. It's like every once in a while, Jaden will say, Dad, relax. It's okay, man. It's okay. You know, I'm like, all right.
Был очень рада видеть вас снова в Москве, но вопрос у меня к Джейдену. Останется.
I don't care. I'm going to answer it anyway.
Джейден, у тебя в фильме стоит очень сложная задача. Ты, с одной стороны, боишься подвести отца, потому что он дал тебе очень сложное задание, которое не может выполнить сам. С другой стороны, тебе предстоит встреча с совершенно страшным монстром Урсой. Вот что было страшнее? И расскажи, как это было убивать вот этого жуткого компьютерного персонажа?
Well, yeah, it was fun doing the action to interact with Ursa, but I actually didn't get to actually see it in the moment. It was only until after we were done shooting that I got to see what like the whole movie is based around. I got to see it at the like around now.
Right.
Is when
Like
I really
2 weeks
got
ago.
to see, what it actually looks like. But no, the action was really, really fun. I trained like 4 months for it. 4 months running, parkour, jumping, all types of just wielding the staff and doing all the fight choreography.
Thank you so much.
Jaden, he had most of the action, and he had most of the fight sequences. But I told him very clearly, you're going to look great in this movie. You're going to get to do most of the cool stuff, but I'm going to still take most of the money.
Thank you. Will and Jaden, thank you so much for being with us, and thank you so much for being so genuine and friendly. Thank you. Enjoy your stay. Друзья, пожалуйста, оставайтесь на своих местах буквально еще полсекунды, хорошо? Это необходимо для того, чтобы проводить нашего гостя. Спасибо.